What's up, ladies and gents? I had an overwhelming response to our Birth Story podcast. I've had countless messages and emails, and even people like in person are like, oh my God, or I've had people call me, they've texted me. I've even had some people say you caused a war in our house. So all I want to say, though, is thank you for listening. Thank you for letting us share. And thank you for all of your feedback. I had a lot of good feedback, and then I had a lot of feedback that was like, I liked this, but I don't necessarily agree with you. And then I had a lot of feedback that said, how do you and your husband like operate? Like, how do you guys work together? Because you guys are total opposites. How do you compromise in other situations? I actually had a lot of people message me about that, because we're very opposite, but somehow we managed to balance each other out. So he has agreed to do a podcast episode on compromise and how we kind of operate as a team. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I say that a lot, but it's true, because I don't want you guys thinking that like every day is just perfect. It's not. Like, we actually argue quite a bit, but we don't. There's rumble strips. I'm driving. But we don't like yell and scream at each other. Our arguments are usually over like little things. Like he yells at me about, and I shouldn't even say yell, because he doesn't really like yell. And when he does yell, I laugh. Like, I think it's so funny. I don't know why. I'm sure if he ever listens to this, he's going to be like, screw you, Sasha. But one of the things that I think is hilarious that he is actually like a thing in our house is he always yells at me because I don't clean the peanut butter off of the butter knife, when I'm done making a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And he's always like, he'll say some smart ass comment like, oh, somebody have a peanut butter jelly sandwich today? Or he'll literally do all of the dishes and leave the butter knives with peanut butter on them. And I'm like, I am going to kill you with this freaking peanut butter knife, or this butter knife. So anyways, those are just that's an idea, an example of kind of what our fights are about. Sometimes they're more significant, though. Like leaving my job or finding a quote career, money. We fight about whether or not we like future goals. Like I'm a visionary, I'm a dreamer, and he's much more of like a realist. And so I'm always challenging him to dream bigger, and he's always challenging me to like rein it in, Sasha. Not everything can happen at the snap of your fingers. Like, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes money, it takes energy, it takes all kinds of things. And I'm like, well, let's just make it happen. Like, we'll just wing it. We'll figure it out. And he's much more like, no, let's figure out the steps along the way. So yeah, if you guys have specific questions that you want to ask us in regards to that, go ahead and DM me on Instagram, sasha.davis, or send me an email, support@sashadavis.com. I'll kind of compile all of the questions. And I know I've asked this once before, so if you sent me a question before, go ahead and resend it to me. I'll see if I can find those emails and messages that you guys had already once sent. And I'll just make like a list, and what we'll do is we'll just go through and answer your guys' questions, and you can get, kind of both perspectives on it. But that's not the main topic that I want to talk about on today's podcast. Today, it's Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and I know that the holidays can stress people out. Hell, they used to stress me out. Like, I turned into a crazy person when the holidays would come up. I'm a people pleaser at heart. Like, I always have been. And so I'm like, well, we got to go to this person's house and this person's house and this person's house, and we can't forget about that person. Like, I always want people to feel included, and I want them to know that we care about them. But at the same time, I would do this all at my own expense. And so then I would just be a bear, and I was angry because I had to go to all these places, and I was tired and I was exhausted, and I was spending all this time and money on making things or buying things because I'm not a baker or a maker. I would much rather just like have somebody else do it. Although, side note, I have been kicking ass at baking lately, like homemade baking. That's neither here nor there. That's just something that I've been experimenting with. And I'm actually pretty freaking good at it. Toot my own horn. Beep, beep. Anyways, back to managing like your time and energy. So this week, whether you are hosting Thanksgiving or you're attending a Thanksgiving, we may encounter certain individuals that we just don't see eye to eye on. And so what I want to just talk about for a minute is conserving your energy, managing your energy when around these people. So whether we have like the crazy drunk uncle, or you don't ever talk to your parents and then this is like the first time you see them in a year, or if your grandparents have no filter, or if people start talking about politics and God and all of that good stuff, women's rights, like those are always fun topics that come up around holidays. And it can get people really riled up, or even like food. Like I know food can be a big thing around the holidays, especially if you're on a journey to eating healthier and living a healthier life. It sometimes is really hard to stick to those healthier options during this time of year because there is goodies and temptation everywhere. So managing your energy. I want you to make sure that you are making time for yourself this week. Self-care is crucial around these times. You want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to fill your cup way up to the tippy top, even overpouring, so that when you can go into these situations, you're not feeling drained, angry, frustrated, or like, ugh, I have to be here. I want you to challenge those thoughts if they do come up. Can I choose a better thought in this moment? If that thought doesn't feel good, what would be a feel good thought? So for example, man, I really don't want to go to this Thanksgiving. I don't like anybody here. Okay. That may be true, but that thought doesn't feel good. Like that's not an empowering thought. That's not a positive thought. That's not a high vibration thought. So how can we turn it around to find the joy, find the good, find a feel good thought in that moment? So maybe it's something like, I'm thankful that I even have a place to go on Thanksgiving. I'm thankful that the food that I'm going to be putting in my mouth is going to be freaking amazing and I'm going to savor every bite of it. I'm grateful that I only have to do this once a year. How can you choose a better thought? Because really, you get to choose your thoughts. Like nobody else is in your head saying you need to think, act, or feel a certain way. It's you and your projections out into the world that are making you choose that very thought in that moment, okay? So when you empower yourself and channel those thoughts to something a little higher vibration, you then feel better, right? And you can set better boundaries with the people who maybe aren't vibing at a higher level, or who may be running on E, or who are just like naturally angry people, like they have a lot of work to do, guys. So just take that into consideration when dealing with people who are angry or who are hurt. There's a saying that goes around, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but hurt people hurt people. Empowered people empower people. So what do you want to be? Think about your thoughts. And if your thoughts are negative or angry or hurtful, well, guess what? Hurt people hurt people. So if your thoughts are empowering and positive and uplifting and finding the good in it, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to uplift others, you're going to empower others, and you're going to be able to better set boundaries to those who are not, okay? And so those people who are not, and who try to bring you down and get you to take their bait, those are energy vampires, right? They're energy suckers. So what they do is they feed off of your energy. So by sucking that energy out of you, literally think of a leech or a vampire, okay? They're in a hurt place, and so to fill their cup, to get energy, they have to suck it from other people. Well, how do they do that? They get you riled up, right? It's like that game. It's like a pissing match. Who's going to win? Ha, ha, ha. So it's your job to protect your energy this week. Manage your energy, find the joy, and then just think of it from like I almost have like these weird like out of body experiences where I'm like, you know, a bigger being or a higher source, like looking in on my experience, my holiday experience or whatever experience I'm having. And I'm like, okay, how am I feeling right now? How is this person feeling? How is that person feeling? How can I make this day better? Right? Like how am I interacting on a higher level? Like how can I be present in this moment and find the joy? And it's not always easy. Like, you know, I'm sitting here saying, oh yeah, find the joy, guys, find the joy, guys. It's not something that just happens overnight, but it can happen by you filling your cup. So maybe what you do is you do some extra journaling this week, or maybe you do some extra meditation, or hell, maybe you go get a pedicure or a manicure, or maybe you make your favorite pie. Maybe you watch a movie. Maybe you cancel a couple of appointments and just take an extra day off of work. Like, what is it going to take for you to fill your cup? Maybe it's a cup of coffee next to a cozy fire. That seems to be my thing. Me and my husband were just talking this morning about the large amounts of caffeine. Well, not caffeine, coffee. Well, I guess Can you guys tell I've had a lot of coffee today? But this time of year makes me just want like hot drinks. So I think I need to switch to decaf because I'm like jacked up on coffee. But you want to make sure that you're filling your cup so that you can show up as your best self, give others your best self, and then in turn, it will make them feel better too, right? So going back to the energy, if you walk into a room and you are happy and vibrant and smiling, like people are going to be like, wow, she's really happy, vibrant, and smiling. And you will either make other people feel happy and vibrant, or you're going to trigger those who are like, wow, look at her. And so have those people you need to set boundaries with, right? Like, okay, I understand something is going on over there. I'm going to send them love. Like, think of yourself as a Care Bear. You're sending your ray of sunshine light to their little dimmed light, and then just leave it at that. And then like close up shop. Like, just stop interactions. Like, you don't have to feed into that negative energy, okay? Focus your energy where you're going to be at a higher level with others, because then you guys can like vibe off each other and everybody will just like feel good. You know, have you ever been in that moment where you're just like, man, this feels really good. Like, I feel really good. Like, this day has been really good. Like, you want that. And so when you surround yourself with those people who also feel good, everybody starts to feel better. It's like you build each other up. It's a very cool feeling. But the same thing can happen if you're in a room with negative people, right? If you don't block yourself off from that negative energy, they're going to pull you down to their level, and then everybody's going to feel like shit, and then everybody's going to fight and get drunk, and that's where you have all this family drama and blah, 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 blah. So I want you to try to avoid any and all of that this week. Also, you don't have to go to every frickin' Thanksgiving that you're invited to. Find the ones that you feel best at and go to those ones, and then maybe just send somebody a card or find another time where you guys can catch up. Like, maybe you can't go to 8 million Thanksgivings on Thursday, but you can meet them for breakfast next Sunday. Or maybe what you'll do is have a dinner another night where it's just you guys, where you can enjoy each other's company without feeling overwhelmed and stressed about it. Maybe what you do is you set a potluck up another night where they bring some food, you bring some food, and everybody's happy, and you just have some game nights or something. Like, you can restructure your Thanksgiving to be whatever fits your needs. Just because traditionally we've had Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving doesn't mean that you can't start your own tradition right here, right now. So maybe you go to 1 or 2 Thanksgivings, you stuff yourself, you feel good, you go home, you feel good. I don't know if you're a Black Friday shopper or not. That's like a whole other topic that I will release on another episode later this week. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to jump on quick and talk about managing your energy. You know, make sure that you're filling your cup up before you attend all of these events that are coming up, because when you feel good, you can make others feel good too, right? And you'll just be happier, you'll be healthier, you'll be able to make better choices, and we'll make it through this holiday season. We will. Hopefully with as little stress as possible. Oh, and 2 reminders. Reminder, please leave a review. If you enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy this episode, it really means a lot to me, and it helps other people see this podcast. When you leave a review, when you leave like a 5-star review, a written review, or when you share it on your social media, it just helps build the audience so that we can, get more guests on here and we can keep doing this podcast. And then the other thing is send your questions to me. If you want me and my husband to do another podcast together, we'll go through and we'll just kind of answer all your guys' questions. So DM me on Instagram, sasha.davis, or you can send me an email with your questions, support@sashadavis.com. Happy holidays, everybody. I hope you have a awesome Thanksgiving, and we'll talk soon. Thank you for listening to the Confidence Coach podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I want to invite you to leave a 5-star review and share what you loved most about this episode. You can also screenshot and share it on social media. Tag me at sasha.davis. And if you're looking for additional resources, head on over to sashadavis.com. Check out ways that you can work with me and all the free resources that are available to you. Have a kick-ass day.